Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something you don't need to shout to be heard. You don't need to fight fire with fire to win the battle. There are people out there circling like vultures, thinking they can play you, thinking they can toy with your name, your dignity, and your purpose. But here's the truth: they played themselves the moment they underestimated you. You see, strength doesn't roar, it moves in silence. While they were busy scheming, trying to outsmart you, you were working. You were building, you were preparing. Patience isn't weakness, it's strategy. While they were laughing, you were learning. And when the moment came, you were ready and they weren't. There's a kind of power that doesn't need to announce itself. It doesn't come with loud declarations or flashy displays. It doesn't demand attention. But when it moves, everyone feels it. That power is quiet strength. It's the kind of strength that isn't always visible but runs deep, steady, and unshakable. It's the force behind resilience, determination, and the ability to endure without losing yourself. People often mistake quiet strength for weakness. They assume that if you're not shouting your worth, you don't know it. If you're not fighting for the spotlight, you don't deserve it. But they couldn't be more wrong. Quiet strength isn't about being passive or timid. It's about knowing when to speak and when to listen, when to act and when to wait. It's the kind of power that doesn't need to prove itself to anyone because it's rooted in a deep sense of self-awareness and purpose. Resilience comes from that quiet strength. It's the ability to stand firm when the storm hits, to bend without breaking, and to rise again even stronger. People who embody quiet strength don't fall apart when life gets hard. They don't let challenges define them or obstacles stop them. Instead, they let those moments refine them. They absorb the lessons, adjust their approach, and keep moving forward. Determination is another hallmark of quiet strength. It's not about rushing to the finish line or making noise along the way. It's about staying committed to the journey no matter how long it takes. Determination is waking up every day and choosing to keep going, even when the odds seem stacked against you. It's about having a clear vision of where you want to go and the discipline to do what it takes to get there step by step. The world often rewards the loudest voices, the flashiest moves, the most aggressive tactics. But don't be fooled into thinking that's the only way to succeed. Quiet strength doesn't seek validation from others. It doesn't need applause or approval to feel valuable. It's a power that comes from within, from knowing who you are and what you're capable of, even when no one else does. When you have quiet strength, you don't waste time trying to convince people of your worth. You let your actions, your consistency, and your results do the talking. People may not see you coming, but when you arrive, they can't ignore the impact you make. That's the beauty of quiet strength. It's not about being seen or heard, it's about being felt. So never underestimate the power of quiet strength. It's the foundation of resilience, the fuel for determination, and the kind of power that can't be shaken by temporary setbacks or external opinions. It's a reminder that you don't need to be the loudest person in the room to be the most powerful. True strength isn't in the noise, it's in the unwavering resolve to keep moving forward no matter what. Patience is a virtue often misunderstood. It's mistaken for complacency or a lack of ambition, but in reality, patience is one of the most powerful tools you can wield. It's not about sitting idly by or waiting for things to magically fall into place. Patience is active, it's deliberate, it's preparation. While others rush ahead, eager to seize opportunities before they're ready, patience allows you to step back, sharpen your skills, and ensure that when your time comes, you'll be more than ready to rise. When people underestimate you, it can be tempting to react immediately to prove them wrong in the moment. But there's wisdom in restraint. Instead of wasting your energy on their doubts or trying to convince them of your worth, you focus inward. You prepare, you use their underestimation as fuel, a quiet motivation to keep working, keep learning, and keep growing. They don't see the work you're putting in, and that's okay, they don't need to. The results will speak for themselves when the time is right. Patience gives you the opportunity to master your craft. It's in the countless hours of practice, the late nights spent refining your skills, and the mornings where you choose discipline over comfort. It's in the small, consistent efforts that may seem insignificant at first but compound over time. While others are distracted by quick wins or fleeting successes, you're building something that lasts. You're laying a foundation so solid that no amount of doubt or criticism can shake it. Biding your time doesn't mean you're passive, it means you're strategic, you're waiting for the right moment. Not just any moment. You understand that success isn't about being the first to cross the line, it's about crossing it prepared, equipped, and ready to handle what comes next. You're not interested in short-lived victories. You're aiming for long-term impact. And that requires patience. It requires trusting the process even when the results aren't immediately visible. The world moves fast and people often mistake haste for progress. But while they're rushing, cutting corners, and chasing validation, you're building something they can't see. You're investing in yourself, in your growth, and in your vision. Patience allows you to turn setbacks into stepping stones and obstacles into opportunities for growth. It teaches you to see the bigger picture and to focus on what truly matters. When the moment finally comes, and it will come, you'll be ready. The time you spent sharpening your skills, honing your craft, and preparing for the opportunity will pay off. And those who underestimated you will realize their mistake. They thought your silence was inactivity, but it was preparation. They thought your patience was weakness, but it was strength. Patience isn't just about waiting, it's about using the waiting period wisely. It's about turning every moment into an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become better. So let them underestimate you. While they're watching, you're working. And when your moment arrives, they'll see exactly what patience and preparation can achieve. Life has a way of balancing the scales, often in ways we don't expect. The energy people put into the world, whether good or bad, has a habit of circling back. This is the essence of the boomerang effect. What people throw at you in disrespect often returns to them in regret. It's not about vengeance or retaliation, it's simply a natural law of cause and effect. Actions, words, and intentions have weight, and they eventually find their way back to the source. Disrespect, whether subtle or blatant, is an attempt to diminish someone else. It's an act rooted in insecurity, jealousy, or fear. When someone disrespects you, it can sting, no doubt. It can make you question yourself or wonder why they see fit to treat you that way. But here's the truth: their behavior says far more about them than it does about you. Their words and actions are a reflection of their character, not yours. And life has a way of holding people accountable for what they project onto others. When someone throws negativity your way, you don't need to catch it. You don't need to match their energy or stoop to their level. Instead, let their actions do the work for you. Disrespect often carries its own consequences. It alienates people, damages trust, and creates reputations that are hard to shake. Over time, the same people who disrespected you often find themselves isolated, misunderstood, or regretting the bridges they burned. The boomerang effect isn't just about karma or poetic justice, it's about the ripple effect of actions. Disrespect doesn't stop with one person, it spreads. It impacts relationships, opportunities, and self-perception. But just as negativity spreads, so does grace. When you choose not to retaliate, when you choose to rise above the disrespect, you send a powerful message. You show strength, dignity, and self-control, qualities that resonate far louder than any act of retaliation ever could. It's not easy to resist the urge to respond in kind. Disrespect can ignite anger, frustration, or a desire to prove someone wrong. But responding with patience and poise doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. It shows that you understand the bigger picture. What people throw at you is their responsibility, but how you respond is yours. And here's the beauty of it all: while they're busy throwing negativity, you're staying focused, moving forward, and building a life they can't disrupt. Your energy isn't wasted on petty battles or trying to prove your worth to someone who doesn't see it. Instead, you're investing in yourself, your goals, and your growth. Eventually, the boomerang returns. Those who acted out of disrespect often face the consequences of their choices. Whether it's missed opportunities, strained relationships, or the realization that their behavior reflects poorly on them, regret finds its way home. Meanwhile, you remain unshaken, stronger for having endured and wiser for having chosen a higher path. The boomerang effect reminds us all that what we give to the world is what we ultimately receive. Staying rooted in your values is one of the most powerful ways to navigate life's challenges. It's easy to get caught up in the games people play, the manipulations, the provocations, the attempts to drag you into their chaos. But no matter how tempting it might be to respond in kind, you must hold on to who you are. Your values are your foundation, and letting someone else's actions pull you out of character means giving them a power they don't deserve. In life, you'll encounter people who test your boundaries. They'll try to provoke you, disrespect you, or challenge your integrity. Their goal is often to unsettle you, to make you act out of frustration or anger. They thrive on pulling others into their games because it gives them a sense of control. But the moment you allow their actions to dictate your behavior, you've already lost, not because you're weaker, but because you've stepped away from your principles. Your character is your compass. It guides your decisions, your responses, and your interactions. When you let someone's games pull you away from your values, you lose sight of that compass. You start reacting instead of acting with intention. And while it might feel satisfying in the moment to win the confrontation, the real victory comes from staying true to who you are. It's about walking away with your integrity intact, knowing you didn't compromise yourself to match someone else's level. Holding on to your values doesn't mean you're passive or naive. It doesn't mean you ignore disrespect or allow yourself to be mistreated. It means you choose how to respond thoughtfully and with dignity. It's the difference between reacting out of emotion and responding out of strength. When you stay rooted in your values, you set the terms of engagement. You show that you're not easily swayed, not easily provoked, and certainly not controlled by someone else's behavior. This strength is often misunderstood. People might mistake your calm for weakness or your refusal to engage for fear, but let them misunderstand. Their perception isn't your responsibility. Your responsibility is to yourself, to remain grounded in your principles no matter what comes your way. It takes far more strength to hold on to your values in the face of adversity than it does to lash out or abandon them. Staying rooted also sends a powerful message. It shows others that you are unshakable, that your integrity isn't for sale, and that you won't be pulled into unnecessary drama. Over time, people begin to recognize and respect this consistency, even if they don't admit it out loud. Those who tried to manipulate you often find themselves frustrated, realizing they can't control someone who knows exactly who they are. When the dust settles, what remains is your character. Games come and go, but the essence of who you are stays with you. By refusing to let someone else's actions dictate your behavior, you protect that essence. You remind yourself and the world that your values are non-negotiable, and that is a power no one can take from you. Victory is often misunderstood. Too many people think winning is about defeating someone else, proving them wrong, or outshining them in the moment. But true victory isn't about what you do to others, it's about what you do for yourself. It's about staying true to your path, holding on to your integrity, and achieving success on your own terms. When you understand this, you realize that retaliation is a distraction, not a solution. The real battle is staying focused on your purpose no matter what obstacles or provocations come your way. Retaliation can feel satisfying in the short term. When someone wrongs you or underestimates you, the urge to strike back can be powerful, but retaliation pulls you off course. It shifts your energy away from your goals and towards someone else's pettiness. It drags you into their game, their rules, their level. And the truth is, you can't win a game that doesn't align with who you are. Real strength isn't in reacting, it's in resisting. It's in choosing to rise above rather than sink to someone else's level. Staying true to your path requires discipline and clarity. It means knowing what matters to you and refusing to be swayed by distractions or drama. When you're focused on your goals, the noise around you becomes just that noise. People will try to test you, provoke you, and throw you off balance. They'll want to see if they can pull you into their chaos, but when you're rooted in your purpose, their games lose their power. You don't have to prove anything to them because your actions, your growth, and your success speak louder than any words ever could. Achieving success on your own terms is the ultimate victory. It's not about meeting someone else's expectations or living up to their definition of success. It's about creating a life that aligns with your values, your vision, and your unique potential. It's about doing the work, staying consistent, and refusing to let negativity derail you. Success achieved through retaliation or spite is hollow. But success that comes from staying true to yourself, that's unshakable. When you focus on your own path, you learn that winning isn't about beating others, it's about mastering yourself. It's about staying calm in the face of chaos, confident in the face of doubt, and committed in the face of challenges. Every time you choose to keep moving forward, to pour your energy into your dreams instead of into arguments or retaliation, you're winning. Every step you take towards your goals, every moment you choose integrity over impulse, you're claiming victory. And here's the beauty of it when you win this way. The people who tried to derail you can't touch you. Their efforts to provoke you or pull you down become irrelevant because you're no longer playing their game. You're on a different level, one where success is defined by inner peace, self-respect, and fulfillment. That's the kind of victory that lasts, the kind that no one can take away. Loss has a way of teaching lessons that success never could. It exposes weaknesses, clarifies intentions, and lays bare the truth of a situation. When someone attempts to play you, to manipulate or undermine you, they often fail to see the full picture. Their actions come from a place of short-sightedness, where the desire to win overshadows the principles that truly matter. In the end, their attempt to play you often becomes their downfall because they underestimated the power of integrity and focus. Integrity is not just a value, it's a strength. It anchors you in who you are, what you stand for. When others act out of deceit, selfishness, or malice, they compromise their own foundation. They think they're being clever, outmaneuvering you, but what they're really doing is building a house of cards. A person without integrity may succeed in the short term, but eventually the cracks in their character begin to show. The shortcuts they took, the bridges they burned, the people they disrespected, all of it comes back to haunt them. On the other hand, when you stay focused and rooted in integrity, you're playing a different game entirely. You're not worried about quick wins or getting even. Your focus is on growth, purpose, and long-term success. You understand that real strength comes from consistency, discipline, and staying true to your values, even when it's hard. Integrity might not always be the fastest path, but it's the one that lasts. It builds a reputation, fosters trust, and creates opportunities that manipulation and deceit could never unlock. When someone tries to play you, they often reveal more about themselves than they realize. Their actions show their insecurities, their lack of foresight, and their inability to see the bigger picture. They may succeed in causing temporary setbacks, but in doing so, they set themselves up for failure. By focusing on you, they lose focus on their own path. They become consumed by the game they're playing, and in the end, the energy they spent trying to bring you down becomes their undoing. The lesson in the loss is this: when people act without integrity, they eventually pay the price. And when you respond with focus and resilience, you come out stronger. Their games may cause temporary frustration, but they cannot derail someone who is committed to their purpose. In fact, their attempts to play you often become the very thing that motivates you to work harder, grow wiser, and move forward with even greater determination. Your victory isn't in watching their downfall, it's in staying true to yourself. It's in knowing that you didn't let their actions pull you out of character or distract you from your goals. And as they face the consequences of their choices, you're already ahead, building something lasting and meaningful. Their loss becomes your lesson, a reminder that integrity and focus are the ultimate strengths. In the end, the only game worth playing is the one where you stay true to your purpose, no matter what. Any words ever could. Loss has a way of teaching lessons that success never could. It exposes weaknesses, clarifies intentions, and lays bare the truth of a situation. When someone attempts to play you, to manipulate or undermine you, they often fail to see the full picture. Their actions come from a place of short-sightedness, where the desire to win overshadows the principles that truly matter. In the end, their attempt to play you often becomes their downfall because they underestimated the power of integrity and focus. Integrity is not just a value, it's a strength. It anchors you in who you are and what you stand for. When others act out of deceit, selfishness, or malice, they compromise their own foundation. They think they're being clever, outmaneuvering you, but what they're really doing is building a house of cards. A person without integrity may succeed in the short term, but eventually the cracks in their character begin to show. The shortcuts they took, the bridges they burned, the people they disrespected, all of it comes back to haunt them. On the other hand, when you stay focused and rooted in integrity, you're playing a different game entirely. You're not worried about quick wins or getting even. Your focus is on growth, purpose, and long-term success. You understand that real strength comes from consistency, discipline, and staying true to your values, even when it's hard. Integrity might not always be the fastest path, but it's the one that lasts. It builds a reputation, fosters trust, and creates opportunities that manipulation and deceit could never unlock. When someone tries to play you, they often reveal more about themselves than they realize. Their actions show their insecurities, their lack of foresight, and their inability to see the bigger picture. They may succeed in causing temporary setbacks, but in doing so, they set themselves up for failure. By focusing on you, they lose focus on their own path. They become consumed by the game they're playing, and in the end, the energy they spent trying to bring you down becomes their undoing. The lesson in the loss is this: when people act without integrity, they eventually pay the price. And when you respond with focus and resilience, you come out stronger. Their games may cause temporary frustration, but they cannot derail someone who is committed to their purpose. In fact, their attempts to play you often become the very thing that motivates you to work harder, grow wiser, and move forward with even greater determination. Your victory isn't in watching their downfall, it's in staying true to yourself. It's in knowing that you didn't let their actions pull you out of character or distract you from your goals. And as they face the consequences of their choices, you're already ahead, building something lasting and meaningful. Their loss becomes your lesson, a reminder that integrity and focus are the ultimate strengths. In the end, the only game worth playing is the one where you stay true to your purpose no matter what. In life, people will challenge you, test you, and sometimes even attempt to undermine you. They may misjudge your quiet strength, confuse your patience for passivity, and misinterpret your focus as a weakness. But through it all, your power lies in staying true to who you are. This entire journey, whether it's dealing with disrespect, navigating setbacks, or overcoming challenges, is about understanding that your greatest weapon is your character and your unwavering commitment to your own path. Quiet strength is not about making noise, it's about making moves. It's about knowing that resilience and determination outlast any temporary distractions or provocations. People might not see the work you're doing in the shadows, but that's the point. You don't need their validation. While they're playing their games, you're sharpening your skills, laying a foundation so strong that nothing they throw at you can shake it. When your time comes, they'll realize their mistake, not because you told them, but because your success will speak volumes. Patience is the key to that success. It's the preparation that ensures you're ready for the opportunities when they arrive. While others rush trying to grab what isn't theirs or isn't meant for them, you wait. You build, you grow. They may mock your silence or doubt your ability, but when the moment comes, the very skills you've honed in that quiet preparation will set you apart. You'll move with purpose while they're left to watch, unprepared for the results of their own choices. And what of those who throw disrespect your way? The boomerang effect ensures that what they dish out will eventually return to them. Their negativity, jealousy, or attempts to diminish you are a reflection of their own insecurities. Life has a way of balancing the scales, and while you remain focused on your goals, their actions will lead them to consequences they never anticipated. Meanwhile, your decision to rise above, to refuse to stoop to their level, reinforces your strength. Retaliation isn't necessary because your success is the ultimate response. Staying rooted in your values is what separates those who falter from those who thrive. When people play games trying to lure you into conflict or drama, the greatest victory is refusing to engage. Your integrity is your shield, and it protects you from being dragged into battles that don't serve your purpose. By staying true to yourself, you ensure that you're always building, always moving forward, and never losing sight of the bigger picture. Victory isn't about crushing others or proving them wrong. It's about achieving success on your own terms, guided by your principles and fueled by your determination. True triumph comes from focusing on your growth, your journey, and your vision. When you stay on your path, no one can take that away from you. Their attempts to derail you become their downfall because they fail to understand the strength that lies in focus, discipline, and integrity. So as you navigate life, let these lessons guide you. Let your quiet strength be your foundation. Let patience shape your preparation. Let the boomerang effect remind you that what people send your way will eventually find its way back to them. Let your values ground you, even in the face of challenges. And most importantly, let your definition of victory be rooted in staying true to who you are. In the end, those who underestimated you, disrespected you, or tried to play you will come to realize their mistake. Their games, their doubts, and their attempts to undermine you will fade into irrelevance as you rise. Your journey is not about them, it's about you. And when you focus on your path, embrace your purpose, and remain steadfast in your character, no one can stop you. That, my friend, is the true meaning of winning. It's not about retaliation or proving a point, it's about building a life that reflects your values, your dreams, and your strength. Stay the course, stay grounded, and let your success speak louder than any words ever could. So keep walking, keep growing, and keep shining. Let them play their games if they must, but understand this: you're not playing because you're winning. And there's no better revenge than that thank you.